So, Battlefield 2042, it's an interesting game. This is the early access state of the game, so we're not going to be really focusing on any bugs because, again, there could be stuff that are in the day one patch that, technically day one patch that fixes a lot of the issues I would address bug-wise, so we're not going to be going into that. But today, we're just going to be focusing on some of the things I want DICE to do for the future of Battlefield 2042 to make sure this game, one, comes up to par to what it could be, and also is a very solid title to play itself. So, with that being said, if you guys are curious about my general review of this game, basic impressions, stuff like that, this video is going to be mostly negative, kind of, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of problems and what I want to see for the future. Really not much positive stuff in this video, so if you guys want to see a little bit of mix of both negative and positive, annotation here on screen will have a video talking about, Battlefield, whether or not you should buy it, at least in this state. So, that being said, let's jump into some of the stuff I want to see DICE do for the future to make this title a much better title. So, with that being said, I want to see a focus on infantry combat. Now, again, I like a lot of the maps. I think the only map I do not like is Orbital. I absolutely despise that map, but every other map I absolutely love. I like playing. I see them like, oh, cool, you can play this map. Oh, cool, this and that. Like, there's that. I really do like this map selection, except for Orbital. Just remove that from the game. I do not care about that map. But all these maps at the same time don't offer much infantry combat, or at least infantry-focused combat. So what I mean by this is if we look at previous titles, even from Battlefield 5 to Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 3, there was a healthy selection of infantry-focused maps that really honed in and showcased the best part of Battlefield. And I'm going to say it, infantry combat, DICE really just doesn't have enough confidence in themselves to realize that they have probably, in my opinion, some of the best infantry combat in the whole shooter genre. Honestly, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 played much better than Call of Duty would at that time, and I love that the new movement system for Call of Duty did, and I like that Battlefield took some of that. But yeah, the infantry combat in this game is pretty solid. It's like Battlefield 4, but there's not enough places for this combat to shine, and that's kind of unfortunate because it's honestly the best part of the game. So for the future, new maps, I really want them to focus in on some infantry combat. Maps designed like Pearl Market, Metro, Locker, get a lot of those urban settings in down packed. I don't even care if you give me a lot of Aftermath style maps. I love Aftermath. I love the Close Quarters DLC from Battlefield 3. Those are two solid DLC expansions that were great. Give me stuff like that. There's a lot of things here that can really showcase some of the best parts of this game, and I can't imagine a large-scale infantry-focused map with 128 players. The madness that would happen on some of the old-school maps from Battlefield 2 with 128 players if they did some version of that for Battlefield 2042. Like, hey, maybe they do a reskin of Grand Bazaar and they expand it. Like, do stuff like that. I don't want to see it in Portal. I want to see it in the base game, a ground-up remake or remastered of a map, expanded for 128 players, and that is some fun shit to experience. I really hope DICE does that, but again, that's just my personal thing. Focus on infantry combat, DICE, and you'll have a hell of a title to showcase. Next on the list, we're going to be talking about weapons. Now, weapons on the base game are very lackluster. There's only 22 weapons. This is including pistols and all the other junk in the game. That is a awful selection at launch, especially for the Battlefield game. Yeah, it's not good compared to some of the stuff we got for Battlefield 4 as a whole, and just the fact that we should be expanding our weapon count instead of reducing them per title. This is not a good look for DICE. It's not a good look for the game itself, and we need more weapons sooner than later. So let's talk about some things that they could do that are in the realm of possibility. Battlefield Portal has a ton of weapons in there that are already in the current version of the Frostbite engine. So pretty much, arguably, all you got to do really is remodel some stuff, maybe tweak some audio if you want to make it sound a little bit more futuristic, but put some of those games in a more, I guess you could say, futuristic look into the base game. It could help with production time of doing and adding more content to the game. Would that kind of be a cheap shot for some people? Of course, they probably want ground up brand new weapons, but at the same time, guys, we're in a desperate state with Battlefield 2042's weapons. We need more weapons. So with that being said, do whatever you can to add to that count in the base game. I don't want to be playing in Portal where I'm forced to have all these weapons. Like, Portal's great, but it's not the base game. It's a mode you can experience other, I guess, nostalgic vibes to it, and maybe it's the future of Battlefield, but right now you should really focusing on making Battlefield 2042 a great game, because this has got a lot of similarities to Modern Warfare Remastered, Call of Duty 4, and Infinite Warfare. So again, more weapons. I don't even care if you do the Bad Company 2 assault rifle, the XM prototype, I forget what it's called, or you could do the M16A3. Do something, some futuristic version of those guns and add them into Battlefield 2042 as more weapons, and guess what? We'll be loving that. I'll absolutely love that. Now, last on the list, it's kind of simple, but communication and just transparency is essential for this game. We've seen front end what Call of Duty Vanguard's transparency and I guess you could say constant marketing and constant communication has done for that game, and we've seen probably one of the best releases of Call of Duty ever. Yes, Call of Duty Vanguard is a phenomenal launch title. It's a phenomenal release. I'm absolutely loving it to shreds, and yeah. And there was a lot of hate and a lot of negativity from me and a lot of other people about this title being in World War II centric setting and all these different things. But guess what? Sledgehammer focused in, didn't get quiet. They gave us a lot of information, constant communication. And guess what? I'm excited for this year of Call of Duty. Wasn't excited for Black Ops Cold War, but guess what? I'm really excited for Vanguard like I was for Modern for 2019. So Battlefield 2042 and DICE, you guys need to communicate with that game itself. Tell us what's going on with new season. Tell us when it's coming. The fact that it got delayed is a massive red flag for me. And yeah, like do everything you can to communicate everything with new content, updates, seasons. Give us a timetable. Don't delay anything. Do not delay anything. You guys need to focus in on this post-production cycle because it's really imperative to this game for being alive. We saw what happened in Battlefield 5. That game had a lot of potential. Even though I don't like World War II games, it kind of got short-ended and died quickly because it just didn't have a post-launch, schedule or constant stuff to really keep that game going. So hopefully they have a better thing, but I have my doubts. But yeah, that's some of the things I just want DICE to do to have a better launch cycle or better just a cycle for this game. This game has so much potential, guys. So much potential. I had so much fun with this game. I'm still having fun with this game despite its problems. But again, it's pretty important for the general audience and for the general community that they do these things, in my opinion, to just make sure that this game is the best it can be from the start, or at least as soon as it can be possible. So that being said, guys, let me know if you guys have any comments about some of your things or concerns or some of the things you want to see for Battlefield 2042. Maybe you have your own recommendations I've never addressed. Oh, real quick, specialist, just remove them from the game. Keep the characters, but the whole system, get rid of them. Forgot to mention that. Pretty simple. They have no place in 128 player. They do more harm to the balancing and just I guess you could say the logic of the massive all-out warfare rather than, kind of keep things simple for people. It's made for a 4v4, 5v4, 5v5, 6v6 style of game, and that's how Battlefield is. So that special system, just get rid of it. It's a waste of time. It's confusing. If you want to add new models, new characters we could play as, go ahead, but as long as they're restricted to a class system, that'd be great. Forgot to mention that earlier, but there's that. So yes, if you guys have any other recommendations, any other suggestions, definitely drop this video a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are new here and want more videos from me, whether it's Battlefield 2042 or any other game I cover on the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you guys enjoyed this video, also definitely drop this video a like. Helps out the video a lot. With that being said, that's all I got for this one. Sean NG here, and I'm out.